Welcome to the live stream. It's Wellness Wednesday. And you guys just get comfortable, grab a cup of tea. My tea is coming. We're just going to make sure we are live on all of the different places. We're on Instagram and YouTube and Facebook. Hopefully you can hear me. I normally do this in front of my fire. But I thought that this would be a little bit more hands-on and professional. Thank you. My tea's just arrived. If I did it, we just had a disconnect. I hope we're back on. Dougie, can you give me a thumbs up or a shout if we're good here? And we're going to start doing narrative exposure therapy for your wow body. And actually, I guess I can talk a little bit about what I've been going through lately. The reason that I'm doing narrative exposure therapy with you guys for your wow body and not like giving you like a diet plan or something. Oh, that was the wrong way. Is that? No, I'm going the wrong way. Okay. Everything's like backwards on the screen. But anyways, the reason that I'm not giving you like a diet plan and an exercise plan for getting into your wow body is because if that is, your issue that's keeping you from your wow body, and maybe that is for some people, if that is your issue, it's a pretty easy fix, right? There's like limitless amounts of trainers and professionals out there who can teach you how to eat healthier and work out and whatever. But that never worked for me. And what worked for me was actually getting into my independent kind of best self. And the body just sort of came as a result of that. So just recently, if you've been following my story, if you're a Rootly, if you're one of my students, or if you're on my email list, or if you follow on the vlog or anything like that, I think that's pretty much the only places I have talked openly about this until now. So I am going to be talking openly about this on Instagram and TikTok, but I have not shared anything about that yet on those platforms. What's happened, I got into my best body in university when I finally kind of stopped struggling with my weight, when I finally stopped struggling with like the micro traumas that came from how I was raised. So when I was able to, long story short, when I was able to walk into, my best self and being like the person that I feel deep down I truly am, then my natural best body that I felt deeply aligned with deep down also became my lived reality, right? So I dropped down a bunch of dress sizes to very small size because I have a small bone structure, as you see my wrists and my little chicken arms here. I'm a junk in the trunk kind of weight gainer, but I have a very small bone structure, so I was tiny ish. I was not super. Anyways, we won't get into that. I don't really like being like super duper athlete, like lean or supermodel lean. I like to have like a little bit of whatever. But anyways, I was like a size 0 because that's what my body type is when it is in my ideal body composition. And then after university, I decided to go a different path, and losing that kind of stability in my life that the academic community gave me, because I was intended to go all the way and become a serious academic. That's what all of my schooling was geared towards, and all of my extracurriculars and all of my jobs, etc. So when I lost that, when I decided to go a different route and start my own business, which is initially in academic editing, because that's what I was working in at the time, it really kind of floored me. And And I had this love interest at the time who also kind of like went his own way. And I was just gutted. And I gained, quite a bit of weight all of a sudden for no reason. I didn't change the way that I ate. We're talking about why don't I give you a diet and an exercise plan? I never changed the way that I ate. I didn't change what I was working out, like doing or anything like that. I gained weight kind of like mysteriously. So a friend of mine really probed me to start doing health and wellness, writing on my blog and stuff. And I decided to reverse engineer what had happened in university for me to get into my ideal body kind of effortlessly. So I reverse engineered a kind of plan to get into my independent self, my authentic self that other people could use on all of the ways that it connected to my ideal body. So I studied, supermodels. I studied all these people who don't struggle with their weight and put my academic kind of background to work and experimented with myself. And what happened was that in 1 month, I dropped 3 dress sizes. I went down to my size zeros were like still they were tight, but they fit. I could get into them, which was I couldn't even get them past my knees at that point, or my thighs, anyways. So that's what happened. That's the Ideal Body Composition Comprehensive at Upwards Wellness is what I created from that research. So all those tools and methods, they are the Ideal Body Composition Comprehensive. Now, at that time, I was just entering a new relationship with my partner now. And what happened was, long story short, over 4 years, I gained about 40-ish pounds. Okay. And this was, I was trying everything because, there's a whole YouTube, vlog on the internet with me crying, feeling like a failure because I was this mentor to all these women and I was gaining this weight and I couldn't lose it and whatever. So anyways, I've recently realized that the tools for like the independent me, for me becoming my best self in my best body on my own, are different than the kinds of healing and growing and strengthening tools and therapies I need when I'm in a relationship. So the interdependent me, the me that I want to be in relationship, in a family, in a community, that requires a different level of healing, growing, and strengthening, different level of skills, different therapies, different tools, right? So I just realized this 5 months ago, that this is what was happening, right? That I needed an interdependent fix for all of these micro traumas that, I was raised with, that my partner was raised with. So I decided we're going to work on our micro traumas, right? And get into a better place. And meanwhile, I had been eating up to 4,000 calories a day because I love to eat. We were living in Mexico. We were eating out all the time. We were eating really high cal foods and, margaritas, those things, they're 200 calories a pop, So we were drinking tons of stuff like that, all the time. It was fun, but it was also we were not super happy because who's happy that needs 15 margaritas a week? I don't know. I don't even. Anyways, so I assumed that because I was eating so much and I wasn't working out tons because it's so sunny in Mexico. You actually have to stay in for most of the day and we're not night people. So we'd we'd go to the beach 3 times a week and, we'd do a little bit of running and some Pilates and stuff like that. We were still pretty active, but I thought that if I really vamped up my activity levels to the point where that I really love, I love to actually get working 3 to 5 days a week kind of thing, and lessened my calories, but also started eating really high quality foods. I have a degree in nutrition, which you don't need to, eat really healthy. It's a lot on what your body needs, and I teach that in the Ideal Body Composition Comprehensive. I call it Ideal Body Nature Nutrition. But anyway, so I was eating really high quality foods for the past 5 months, working out 5 days a week, And I was hitting it hard. Like I was doing cardio, I was running 3 times a week, I was biking twice a week, I was doing Pilates twice a week, and I was hitting the gym, actually doing like weights and resistance training 3 times a week. And I actually dropped my calories down to like 1,200 calories. And I just put up a vlog today on what happened, but I'll just tell you guys, I only lost 15 pounds. So that's not really that impressive considering I was going from like 3 to 4,000 calories to and like just like kind of gently exercising to like really like hitting the gym hard and hitting the cardio hard and going down to like what is considered like a pretty low cal diet. So that is why I'm not giving you a diet regime and an exercise regime for you to lose weight, because anybody else could do that for you if that's your issue. If that's not working for you, then I know that there are different issues going on. There are different things happening for those of us who aren't overweight because of, poor diet or lack of exercise. And caveat here that even when, for a lot of people, if eating really well and staying active, even when that is difficult for you to stick with, and maybe that could be a contributing factor, or even the factor in why you're carrying extra weight, even those reasons are coming back to micro traumas. So, feeling anxious when you're working out, or, having emotional eating stuff, like all of that stuff has to do with micro traumas. So the healing, growing, strengthening method that I use at Uproots Wellness is totally geared towards people suffering from micro traumas that are preventing them from living in their best body, their most natural body that they're aligned with. And again, disclaimer, if you love your body, this is not for you. I assume if you love your body, you're not here to change your body. But if you want to love your body and change your body simultaneously, this is the only place to be. So today we're talking about we're actually going to do a heal, grow, and strengthen layer in this narrative exposure therapy. But this is more on the heal level than any of the others. But there is like 3 parts to a narrative exposure therapy. And the first part is we're going to go into the past. So we're going to talk about the past and our bodies. And what we're actually going to do, we're going to mix the narrative exposure therapy with a little bit of mindset anchoring that a lot of the manifestation chicks are into, and a lot of more like it's like a visualization sort of practice a little bit that kind of anchors you into the future that you want. So what we're going to talk about when we talk about the past and our bodies, we're actually going to talk about the present day, and from the vantage point that we are looking back and we have gotten into our best bodies. So whatever kind of measurements or something specific. So, I mean, if you want to do it something that is like far more body positive, you can just do it on like how you feel in your body, like your comfort level, your confidence level, that kind of thing. And if you want to do like actual measurements, then use those, but just make it specific, whatever it is. So really dropping into kind of the feeling and like how you would be thinking about yourself in the past and your body in the past and the challenges that you face right now living in a body that maybe you don't feel comfortable in. So we're going to talk kind of like as if we are ourselves, looking back at ourselves now. We are ourselves in our ideal body. We're looking back at ourselves right now and just empathizing with the challenges and just listing the challenges. Like, This is, in the past I felt this way. In the past, these were my challenges. And I'm doing it with you. Okay? So in the past, I felt, or I struggled with, I blamed. That could be a good one too. And then the next step is we're going to talk about how we pushed through that. Okay, so this is still in the past. How we pushed through that, how we pushed through the challenges, the bad feelings, the blame, the shame, all of these things. Okay, so now we're going to move on to the present. So I'll just let you finish writing there. We're going to move on to the present tense, where we are in our best bodies, and what we do on a daily basis or a weekly basis, how we feel, how we live our life, the choices that we make. Okay, and now we're going to move on to the future. So I'll just let you finish writing. So the past is kind of the heal layer. We're like working through as we're talking about the struggles that we're having, or that we did have. We're actually creating solutions for ourselves and allowing space for the struggle and the pain. And then the present is the grow level. So how we're growing through this past, this painful past. And then the present is in the strengthen. So the present, we're going to be talking, or the future is on the strengthen layer of the process, of the uppers wellness process. So when we're talking about the future, we're going to be talking from the place of being in our best bodies, how we're going to move forward, understanding our past, and living in this present, how we're going to kind of like strengthen ourselves in the future, our future goals for ourselves, what kinds of, even better feelings about ourselves we want to grow into, and how we've become, or how we're going to become stronger, so that this past doesn't come up and crop up to hurt us again. Okay? So in the future, I will So you can keep writing what you're going to do in the future now that you've gotten into your best body and you've healed these past wounds and these past struggles. You've grown through them and you're making your plans to strengthen them in the future. And that was really great. Narrative exposure therapy is one of the most effective psychological tools against trauma, which in my business and in my life, what I found is that most people struggling with any kind of goal, whether it's relationships or money or their body, it generally comes down to what I call micro traumas. So they're little traumas that can often go unnoticed, and they usually happen from our families or our communities when we're kids. And these little micro traumas sort of embed themselves very, very deep within us as not just our beliefs, but kind of like our programming on a deep kind of bodily level, on a lifestyle level, and definitely in what we believe we're capable of or how we see reality. So these beliefs and these kind of lifestyle programming, this kind of design that has gotten into our unconscious minds as children, it oftentimes runs our whole lives, and it definitely creates our bodies through many processes, but not the least as through epigenetics itself. So epigenetics are actually your genetics in relationship with your environment, which can be internal to your internal environment as well as your external environment. But epigenetics are actually the real genetics behind many of the things that we would want to treat, like being overweight, etc. So the next time you get mad at your metabolism or something like that, just remember that being kind of angry and feeling that despair and whatnot, it's actually worse for your metabolism than having bad genetics. That isn't true, what I just said. But what I mean is that the overwhelming majority of people, I forget the exact number, but it's at least 99%, if it's not even a higher percentage. The overwhelming majority of people do not actually have genetic reasons for being overweight or obese, and do not have metabolic issues. So having metabolic issues is very, 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 very extremely rare. So being kind of having a good internal environment, having a good external environment, having good lifestyle programming, having good, productive beliefs about yourself, productive habits, a productive inner world that's actually on your team, that can definitely dramatically affect these things that we actually think are hardwired through genetics, because they actually are more aligned with epigenetics, which is something that we can totally affect. So I'm really glad that you joined me here. I've linked a quiz below if you're on Facebook, to the Mental Archetype Quiz that'll give you a little bit more understanding into how your programming may be producing challenges to your ideal body. So you can take that quiz below. And on YouTube, I will try to get it in there and link it too after this live is over. So check back if you're watching on YouTube, or always make sure that you're here next week at the same time, same place, or a different place if you want to view it elsewhere on the Upwards Wellness channels. Be my guest. And yeah, get your quiz results and see how you can start affecting your best body today, even after the narrative exposure therapy. And I'll see you next week, guys.